EV ownership still is not perfect. So in this video, we're looking at what EV drivers in the UK actually want in 2026. Charging costs. At home, EV charging can be incredibly cheap, especially if you're on a smart tariff. But once you leave the house, things can very quickly change. Public rapid charging can be expensive, and prices vary massively on the network, depending on the network and the location. That's created a perception problem. Some drivers now feel that EV charging can be unpredictable and sometimes even comparable to petrol costs. So drivers want clearer pricing, fairer VAT between home and public charging, 5% at home, 20% in the public. It needs to be more affordable. My take, until public charging becomes simpler and more consistent, this will remain one of the biggest barriers for new buyers, and the anti-EV brigade love it. The next issue isn't about cost, it's about reliability. Most EV drivers have experienced at least one of these. Arriving at a charger and find that it's blocked by somebody charging, part there not charging, or even worse, a nice vehicle. Or apps show that chargers are available when they simply are not, or they're offline. This creates what many people now call charger anxiety, which is replacing traditional range anxiety as new vehicles' range becomes longer. So what do drivers want? Well, they want better maintenance of these chargers. They want real-time accuracy in apps, and I've done a video about a better route planner that kind of tackles that problem. And they want more redundancy at charging stations, so more chargers at busy locations. The good news is reliability is improving, especially at newer hubs, but consistency across the whole of the UK is, well, still work in progress really. As EV batteries get bigger, expectations around charging speed are also rising too. Drivers just don't want charging, they want charging that fits seamlessly into their lives. Ultra rapid charging is expanding, but drivers still want more than 150 kilowatt chargers, even though most cars can't support them. They want better motorway coverage. They want charging stops closer to normal petrol station convenience. You drive in, you charge, you go. And let's be honest, the closer we get to 10-minute charging, the less this conversation actually does matter. So most EV charging still happens at home, which is why drivers care so much about tariff and smart charging. What drivers want are simple EV tariffs, wider compatibility between chargers and energy suppliers, more automation, and incentives for smart charging. This is where trends like smart charging rewards, flexible tariffs come in, essentially turning EV charging into a grid asset. You pay more at busier times, you pay less at off-peak times. But right now, many drivers find tariffs confusing. Simply, this could massively improve EV ownership satisfaction overall. Even though EV range is improving, drivers still care about real-world range, especially in winter and when driving on motorway. Faster speeds means lower performance in the battery. The gap between the real-world range and actual driving in the UK with our weather conditions is seriously frustrating. What drivers want are more honest rain expectations, better cold weather efficiency. Cars with heat pumps already are now starting to solve that problem. Continue improvements in battery technology overall. The reality is range anxiety is fading for many drivers, but confidence in real-world range still matters for those looking to buy their first EV. Those of us who are seasoned, we know it's not a big problem. Another common request is simple charging. This should be as simple as paying for petrol. Drivers want contactless payment everywhere. And the law was changed to try and adapt that charging process. However, Tesla have decided they're not going to implement it at all their chargers at the moment. Naughty, naughty Tesla. Drivers want fewer apps. Now, technically, you don't need to use an app at these, but you do get reduced charging costs if you do use an app because, well, they've got your data and they've got you hooked into their ecosystem. They want seamless roaming between the different networks. Plug-in charge functionality. The UK is moving in this direction, but the experience still varies by the network themselves. This is one area where even small improvements could dramatically boost EV confidence. So what about resale values? As more used EVs hit the market, drivers are starting to think about the resale value. Concerns include the battery health uncertainty, and I've done a video about how you can check that on your own car. Rapid technology development affecting depreciation, so as cars get more technology built into them, the older cars have less of a value. Buyer perception around older EVs. Are they actually worth the money? Because, well, they're old. And I say old, we're talking maybe 5 or 6 years. So what drivers want are clearer battery health reports when buying a second-hand EV, longer battery warranties from the manufacturers, better education around EV longevity. This is a natural phase in any new technology, but it's becoming a bigger talking point in 2026. And finally, affordability remains key. Drivers want EVs that are comparable in price to petrol cars, available in more body styles, competitive in the used market. The good news is competition is increasing and new budget-friendly EVs are arriving, but affordability still shapes adoption. So what do EV drivers really want in 2026? Well, it comes down to a few simple things. Cheaper and clearer charging. Reliable charging infrastructure. That is a must. Simple ownership experience. Better value over time, so they retain their value. And the interesting thing is, most of these issues aren't about the cars themselves anymore. They're about the ecosystem around them. So let me know in the comments below, what's the biggest EV frustration to you right now? And if you're thinking about getting an electric car, what's actually holding you back? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow the channel and I want to get to about 500 subscribers by May if I can. And I appreciate every single one of you that does subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. Now, one of the things that EV cars do is they run silently. So why don't you check out this video above about how ICE vehicles, petrol and diesel cars with noisy exhaust, are now beginning to get fined in the UK, just like speeding tickets. It's one problem us EV drivers don't have to worry about. And on that note, I will see you in the next video.